What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for February 27th, 2023. Let's start with today's Philly Sports Black History Spotlight. Today we spotlight Percy Buster Custus. He is a boxing trainer as well as the owner of the James Schuler Boxing Gym. The gym is named after James Black Gold Schuler, who is a promising pro boxer from Philly who was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident back in the 80s. He was 22-1 with 16 KOs. His most famous fight was against Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Unfortunately, he passed away not long after that fight. So Custis opened the gym in his honor. It's a safe haven for youth in the neighborhood. It's a positive environment for fighters and basically all skill levels. So he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame as a trainer. And he is trained, he worked with Bernard Hopkins. He's worked with Tim Witherspoon, both who have won championships. But then the everyday people that working with them to achieve personal goals, to lose weight, to get in shape, having the discipline, getting the kids something productive to do, as well as teaching them discipline and some of those other things. The gym is 750 Brooklyn Street in West Philly. Again, his impact is felt not only by, obviously, Bernard Hopkins and Tim Witherspoon, some of the big names, but he has Gold Glove Award winners, or Golden Gloves, I should say, Silver Gloves, champions just all over in various levels of boxing, but also, like I said, getting the everyday person to help achieve their goals and just a huge major impact in the community. So shout out to you, Buster Custis, for all you have done for the city of Philadelphia and just your work with the youth in Philly as far as training them and giving them something positive to do. So thank you for that. All right, quick Phillies update. They were on TV again, and it was nice. Trey Turner had a decent game. He had a couple hits, scored a run. There was a grand slam by, I forget who even hit it. It was a fun game, but Castellanos looked like 1,000 times better. He did change his approach. He hit a home run to the opposite field. So hopefully that is a sign that he was able to turn things around and really is more comfortable because he doesn't look as jittery as he did last year. So if you can get him to be a more productive player than he was last year with Trey Turner, this lineup could be even better than what they were last year. Hopefully they'll be a tad bit more consistent than they were last year. Sixers back in action tonight against the Heat. Hopefully they can bounce back from that devastating loss to the Celtics the other night. Like I said, it's kind of humbling and disheartening to kind of know that, all right, they're not there. They might be the third best team in the East, but Milwaukee and Boston are that much better. But it should be fun until the second round of the playoffs anyway. But let's go back to 1996. On this day, February 27th, 1996, the Lower Merion Aces beat the Coatesville Red Raiders 70-65 in the District 1 semifinals for basketball at the Palestra. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about this. Well, in that game, it was Rip Hamilton versus Kobe Bryant. It was hands down the best basketball game I've ever attended, and that's including some of the good games I've seen at Temple, like the Michigan State game and things like that. But, I mean, little did we know at the time, I think I may have mentioned it to my brother, that we would be seeing two future Hall of Famers. But the game was pushed back like 15 minutes because there's just so much traffic coming from the western suburbs to get down to the Palestra, because it was such a marquee game. Like, you had Kobe Bryant, and I mean, there were scalpers selling tickets down there. Like I said, you had Rip. Like, we took buses and buses and buses from Coatesville of fans down. Even the Coatesville team bus was stuck, which is part of the reason why they had to delay the game 15 minutes. And once the game started, to me, it was obvious Coatesville was the better team. Obviously, Kobe was the best player on the court that night. But, I mean, going back to the tickets, too, we were sitting in the aisle at the Palestra because they had sold so many tickets. and there was two games that night. I think PW played Chester in the second game, but like everybody was there, and I think the Palestra holds under 10,000. There's probably 10,000. Like I said, we were sitting in the aisles, right behind the one basket, but it was just must see. I think it was like a Tuesday night maybe or a Thursday night. Like it was a day during the week. But I just remember, like I said, we took buses and buses down. I went with my brother, and like I said, we were in the aisle behind the basket. It was the most ridiculous play I've seen on any level live. But coming down on a fast break, Lower Merion's point guard threw up basically an alley-oop right inside half court. Kobe took a step and jumped and like caught the ball like a reverse slam, and just like it was insane. A reverse spinning alley-oop slam dunk. Like it was incredible. But what I remember most about that game was our sharpshooter, Jake Royal, one of my good friends that I played Little League with. He was cold that day. He just could not make a shot. And I think that ultimately provided the difference in the game. Kobe was just having his normal day. And I remember John Henderson, Bus, another guy I went to elementary school with on up, kind of started shutting Kobe down a little bit to the point where the crowd, we got a Kobe scared of Bus chant, because then he was trying to move around more and whatnot. Bus was more of a big guy, but Kobe ended up with 29 points, 11 boards, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Rip, on the other side, did not play well. And like I said, Coatesville was a better team. We had more guys to spread it around. He had 16 points, 13 boards, and 6 assists. Obviously, the winner of that game still had to play the district championship. It would have been against Chester, but for all intents and purposes, the winner of that game was going to win the PIAA. But it definitely was the best game I've ever seen. One of my favorite memories of high school, and just knowing that we were seeing 2 future Hall of Famers in action there. I did read later on that game for Rip is what cemented Jim Calhoun wanted him to go to UConn. Kobe was basically either going to go to LaSalle or go pro. That was like the big talk. I remember he came out then and had his press conference with his sunglasses on his head and everything. Over the years, I definitely a lot of hate for Kobe, dating back to him beating the high school teams so many times in big spots. But over the years, God rest his soul, like I've come around to him. Definitely mad respect for him as a player and everything. Just going back to that old hate, like he beat my team at the Palestra in the district semifinals. But nothing but respect for him. So on this day back in 1996, Lower Merion beat Coatesville 70-65 in the District 1 semifinals down at the Palestra in what I view as the best high school game I've ever seen. And it was just the talent on that court that night was just through the roof. And Coatesville came up short, but Kobe and Rip both played well. So good times. But shout out to Buster Custus for all of your work in the community and helping the youth of Philadelphia as well as the boxing community. We have one more day of our Black History Spotlights. It's been fun going down. Hopefully you've been able to learn something. I know it's been very valuable for me to be able to do the research and get some of these people's names out here that you've never heard of that deserve to have their names heard. So glad I did it. Thank you for listening. Go have yourselves a Monday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.